Quebec is introducing changes to make it easier for adopted children to find their birth parents. Starting this week, any adult adopted in this province will have access to the names of their biological parents. And Maya, this is even if the parents want to conceal their identity.
Yes, Mitsumi. This is a significant change and one which a group called Mouvement Retrouvailles has long lobbied for. Today we spoke to Lise Aymon. She's the Montreal representative for the group, and we've interviewed her several times over the years. Today she gave us an update on her own personal journey.
I'm adopted. I was adopted at the age of 11 months. And just to say how we have to be patient to find our parents, I just found my birth father in 2024, and I'm 75 years old.
Aymon's father died in 1984, so she never got to meet him, but she's still grateful that she finally learned his identity this year and confirmed their relation through DNA testing, which is something she urges others to do. And she's been able to connect with family members on her father's side because of that information. There could be many more stories like this one with the legislative change coming to Quebec this week. Any adult adopted in this province will be able to know the biological names of their parents and that's whether the parents want them to or not. And this has been a long process with changes gradually introduced by different governments over the years. In 2018, the Liberals adopted Bill 113, which meant adopted children could access their files, find out the identity of their birth parents, and try to contact them unless the birth parents had previously indicated they didn't want to be contacted. What this latest change means is that birth parents no longer have that option for a veto. By law, their identity cannot remain a secret. Lise Aymon believes this will make a huge difference in the lives of children who've been searching for answers.
Well, I think it's a big opening, and I think for the adoptees, it's a big thing because we're getting part of our lives back that we never had before. We didn't have that part of the life. We didn't have the pleasure of having the name of our mother. We only had your birth mother was 24. For me, I went over 30 years, 40 years knowing my birth mother was 23 years old when she had me, but I had no name. I had not even where she came from. In those days, they didn't even tell us in what vicinity she was from, which now we're going to know. We have if we want to go on her grave, if she's deceased, we could go on a grave. And, that is things that we did not have before. It's a big opening for adoptees. It's like liberating. It's like it's ours, and we need to. I think it's essential to know where we come from.
Aymon says there are many mothers of a certain generation who had children out of wedlock, which was frowned upon by the church, so they were forced to give them up, and there was a lot of shame and secrecy attached to the whole experience. Now, even though the identity of the birth parents will no longer be able to be kept a secret, reunions cannot be forced. In fact, if a child tries to contact a birth parent against the parent's wishes, the child risks facing heavy fines under the Civil Code. The changes come into effect on June 8th. Mitsumi?
Thanks very much, Maya.